What's up guys, it's Rowan here from Smart TV. Now you might be thinking, you know what, the HSC is already so competitive, why on earth would I be talking about competition as a strategy for study? And look, this might not be for everyone, I'm going to call that out, but this video particularly and this strategy is for those of you that thrive on competition. And it's personally a strategy that I used myself along the journey to get 98% in a subject. That's right, I kid you not, 98%. Now I'm not saying that to brag, I'm just sharing that as proof that sometimes, just sometimes with the right conditions, competition as a strategy can be incredibly powerful. When I was doing my HSC, there was a guy in my grade who was brilliant at history. I was taking modern history. And it also turned out that his dad was a history teacher. Right, so this guy, he topped history from probably year 7, but he was certainly topping it in years 11 and 12. And history was a passion of mine. I really enjoyed it and I really loved it. And so, what I did was just, to motivate myself more, right, over years 11 and 12, I set a secret goal and I told no one about this. It wasn't about being outwardly competitive, right, and creating like a nasty competitive environment. Certainly furthest from that could be true. What it was about though is I set a little competition, a little goal for myself. And that little goal was that I wanted to beat this particular student at the end of the year for the HSC in modern history, right? That was my goal. My goal was to come first, basically. Now, I didn't certainly tell him that, I didn't tell anyone, it was just my own little thing, but that's one of the things that I used to motivate myself, right? To get the work done, to push in and do the work that I needed to. Now, it works if you're a competitive person. And I've had a background in competitive sports, and so for me, a little bit of friendly competition is actually a really good thing. I think competition can be certainly, really overwhelming. It can make people anxious, and it can be a really bad thing. But having a little bit of competition, something to encourage you to up your game and improve if it's done in the right way can be really powerful. And so for me, I was doing this myself. I was creating a bit of competition that only I knew about. Now, the great news was at the end of the journey, I ended up getting 98% in modern history. Again, I don't say that to brag, it's simply just to highlight, that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't set that goal to try to beat, my peer at my school, right? I was doing well, but certainly not that well. And so it enabled me to just up the ante and lift my performance a little, and in a way that was healthy, because I wasn't externalizing this and getting into anything big. It was just something that I had taken on myself. So what you can do here is, if you're a competitive person, competition works for you, you thrive on it, and you know that it lifts your performance, do something similar, right? Pick someone, right, that's doing really, really, really well, and don't tell them about it, don't make it into an actual full competition, but pick them and quietly set a goal for yourself. Set a goal to go, hey, you know what, I'm going to beat that person, or, I'm going to beat that sort of mark. Now, as I said, this doesn't work for everyone, right? For a lot of people, competition is the wrong approach, and I want to be really clear about that. For a lot of people, competition and comparing yourself to someone else can be a pathway, to poor self-worth, right? Which is really, really horrible. But for some of you, right, and these are the guys I'm speaking to watching this, that find this, for some of you, competition, if you've got healthy self-worth and a strong confidence, can be really, really powerful. So use the strategy, but make sure it's the right fit for you. Now, to conclude, did I beat the guy? Well, look, I believe I did, right? It was hard to work out in the end, and that's part of the point of the story, right? Part of the point of the story is it didn't really matter if I did or didn't. What did matter was that it worked for me in lifting my performance. But from doing a bit of research, my understanding was that yes, I ended up topping the grade for modern, which was a pleasant, nice surprise. But that really wasn't the point at the end of the day, and that's what I want to highlight. The point was in what it enabled me to do in terms of lifting my own game, and that's all that really mattered. Me being able to actually lift my game and fulfill the potential that I had. So if you have any questions about how to use a strategy like this, leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you and to support you on your journey. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. We do videos every single week. So I will see you next week.